Let's hover over this Al-Sharaa character for a second. It's really interesting because you talk about like image rebranding. Bring the audience into the psyche there for a minute. I mean, you got this terrorist and he's now controlling Syria effectively. And all of a sudden he goes through this dramatic alteration of his personal appearance, right? So why is he doing that?
I think primarily because he wants to live. And what I mean by that, Mark, is that what he looked like on his way up to the tower is something that would get the whole tower knocked down. He understood a long time ago that he would have to appeal to the West, and he understands that because the West has been buried in this matter in Syria. As I'm sure you know, the United States and our allies have seriously supported the rebels in Syria for many years. You know, they've been trained by the United States to some degree. The U.S. has been there, boots on the ground to some degree. And so, who there would not understand in a full and complete way that they have to be digestible to American citizens? They saw very clearly who wins in any given conflict in that region. It's he who is picked by the United States. And they understood they had to be picked.
But Erez, it's almost laughable, right? Like you and I look at these images and see the transformation and we see right through it. Why are so many people fooled by this? I mean, look at just over the past week or so, the amount of bloodshed and killing, just heinous acts of violence that are occurring in Syria under al-Sharaa. But yet he's coming out with his black Tom Ford looking suit and he's got his beard groomed nicely and everything. Why do the people fall for that? Why do they want to fall for that?
Nobody wants to believe in evil, Mark. I mean, nobody wants to believe that he really would give those orders, that he would lie, look into the camera and just lie. Nobody could ever sort of reconcile that, because if he could do that, what kind of world do we live in? And so I think that's the real reason, because there's no sense in seeing any light in this character.
So it's denial.
Absolutely. And who's to say that this is who the U.S. has chosen? The war is not over yet.
How bad is he, Eris?
Terrible. And as you can see, he's not stupid either.
No, he's also leveraging HTS is also leveraging new media, social media, creating original content to get their messaging out. How closely, in your expert opinion, is Al-Sharaa in creating that content and getting that messaging out? Does he have an arm, a division that's running it, or is he overseeing everything and approving everything and setting the narrative? Is he a great communicator in this evil level?
He is absolutely already prepared. They've already made content. They're making content, and they're playing the game that we're talking about. You know, the concern that many people have in the States is, are they playing this game on the same side of the table as Al-Qaeda? And it's a concern that I have, Mark, to be honest with you.
Explain that. Just elaborate on that.
Well, just to go back to what we were saying, that Al-Qaeda has an interest in sort of absorbing these client state friends.
Right.
Here, Al-Sharaa is now the leader of Syria, the leader of the historical nation of Syria. And he is a former Al-Qaeda commander. He is a direct associate of Al-Qaeda, of the Haqqani network. There's nothing more to it. Of actually both halves of Al-Qaeda. So I mean, that would be to say that he must have sympathies for both Haqqani and Hamza bin Laden, and therefore Osama bin Laden. And we have no business being in bed with anybody who has sympathies for those men, or any sort of part in their charade. And the truth is, he was a member of al-Nusra. We can't forget that. It's not that he was, photographed with them, or we know that he spoke with them. He was a member of Al-Qaeda. It's as simple as that. We have them talking about how they would like to control and own nations from afar, namelessly. And here we have a former Al-Qaeda operative now leading a country directly adjacent to Al-Qaeda's greatest enemy. You know that their threat initially in 2001, their address against the United States called them the Zionist Anglo-Saxon Empire. So it just seems almost too coincidental that a former Al-Qaeda operative would end up in control of a country directly north of the state of Israel, that his nickname would be Al-Jolani. Al-Jolani means the Golani. The Golan, as you know, is the part of Israel that was taken from Syria that many Syrian hardliners still claim and demand back. And in itself, it has become a political rallying cry in Syria and Lebanon against Israel. And here you have his nickname, Al-Jolani. Well, Mark, I'm only reading what this man is giving me. And what he's giving me is the Black Hand.